It's October 28, 1929, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average has fallen nearly 13%. By 1933, nearly a quarter of all Americans are unemployed, and FDR's first New Deal reforms go into effect. In 1935, Charles Darrow popularizes Monopoly, a game rooted in Elizabeth Maggie's Landlord's Game, reframing success based on personal wealth. By 1936, Monopoly sells 1.7 million editions, saving Parker Brothers from bankruptcy. Simultaneously, the US finally sees real GDP surpass 1929 levels. Did you notice any parallels? Monopoly isn't the only example. Take Risk, for instance, which was created in 1957. Its themes of international conflict and territorial power dynamics were especially topical during the Cold War. Looking backwards, the game of Mancala was developed around the 7th century in Northeast Africa. Its gameplay mechanics, where you harvest or sow stones, reflects the importance of agriculture during that time period. All of this is to say that board games have long paralleled the time periods in which they were developed. Today, we'll go on a historical exploration of 3 of today's most prominent board games. Our first case study is chess, which originated about 1500 years ago in modern-day India, originally called Chaturanga rather than its modern name. Many early versions of the game directly reflected the structure of Indian armies, with pieces representing infantry, cavalry, elephants, and chariots. The Gupta Empire developed the game, and it eventually spread throughout the Middle East, North Africa, and into Europe after the Muslim conquest of Spain and under Al-Andalus society. Once in Europe, the game evolved further, combining local customs and traditions with the original to develop new pieces in a version of chess more familiar to us today. In all versions of the game, it is important to note that the pieces have long served as representations of important figures of the time, as with the king, bishop, or knight once the game arrived in Europe. Throughout the 20th and especially the 21st century, chess has acquired a truly worldwide reach with the creation of the International Chess Federation and the development of digital platforms such as chess.com. This has made the game more open to people around the world and helped connect people across cultures and different customs. The game's themes, developed throughout its history, still resonate in the modern day, making it one of the world's most widely played games. Our final case study will discuss CATAN, a civilization-building board game created in the 1990s by German designer Klaus Teuber. The game functions on a board made up of interchangeable hexagonal tiles, where each tile reflects the resource it can produce. Players aim to create the most prosperous civilizations. To do so, they construct roads, settlements, and cities to maximize resource efficiency, trade with other players, and develop infrastructure. From an investigatory standpoint, the game is an interesting combination of modern and old, since despite being developed in the 1990s, it seems to be set in the Middle Ages. However, it is important to note that the game places little emphasis on violence. There are few in-game mechanisms for directly harming other players' progress. In fact, even with Catan's most directly combative piece, the robber, players are given personal liberty to decide whether or not they'd like to steal from other players every time they use it. This may come as a surprise, but it is less so when considering the time period in which Catan was developed. Late 20th century Europe was marked by increasing international cooperation toward the end of the Cold War, especially after decades of political and economic tension. In that context, cooperation and exchange became more prominent and more valuable themes. This style of board game, exemplified by Catan, has continued to grow in recent years, likely due to the fact that our complex globalized world requires solutions based on cooperation rather than violence.